Ladies and gentlemen, aging is not just about counting years, it's about mastering self-discipline. There comes a stage in life when what you choose not to say, do, or engage in holds just as much weight as the things you actively pursue. The impulsive drive that once pushed you forward in your youth now demands the balance of experience and wisdom. Not every idea needs to be voiced. Not every emotion must be acted on. Not every place is meant for you anymore. If you don't adapt, if you don't evolve your way of living, you risk unnecessary pain, avoidable confrontations, and the haunting regret of not having practiced restraint. So many have uttered, "If only I'd kept quiet, if only I hadn't gone there." That wisdom often comes too late. There's a belief, not just nostalgia, but a deep conviction, that the past held more value, more integrity, more meaning. And sometimes, yes, it might have. But that belief can become a burden. It can isolate you, make you bitter, and blind you to the possibilities of the now. Yes, the past had its merits, structure, discipline, and a strong sense of responsibility. Families stayed closer. Communities were tighter. Technology didn't interrupt real conversations. Respect was mutual. It's easy to romanticize those aspects and feel a sense of loss in today's seemingly chaotic world. But here's the truth, change is inevitable. If you're stuck believing the past was superior, you risk being left behind, disconnected from the very life that continues to unfold before you. It's tempting to judge the younger generation, to say they're softer, less disciplined, or lacking values. But remember, each generation faces its own battles. What seems like weakness might be adaptation. What appears as carelessness could be a strategy for navigating a world that has shifted drastically. If you keep clinging to the idea that everything used to be better, you may become the person others dread to be around. Conversations filled with comparisons to a golden age often alienate, rather than inspire. 3 things to never say after 60. Back in my day. Things were better when. Kids today just don't get it. These statements can come across as dismissive and closed off. Instead, consider, was it really better, or just different? Weren't there injustices and limitations then too, ones that you wouldn't trade for today's freedoms and innovations? And please, don't say, "I'm too old to change." That belief quietly surrenders your power. It suggests learning is over, growth has ended, and life is now just something to endure. That's a dangerous lie. Change doesn't belong to the young, it belongs to the living. Don't allow familiarity to fool you into thinking your story is complete. Every moment you're still here is a chance to shape the rest of your life. Growth may be uncomfortable, but so is regret. So choose growth. You can either let the past limit you or use it to build something better in the present. Regret whispers in quiet moments, but it only holds as much power as you give it. It cannot rewrite history. It cannot change what was. But it can rob you of what's ahead if you dwell on it too long. Let regret be a teacher, not a prison. Don't chase a second youth, instead, embrace the wisdom that only age can offer. Use it to correct, to guide, to love deeper. Let go of the idea that your mistakes define you. They don't. What you do next does. Avoid these 3 actions. Seeking the approval of younger generations. Hoarding possessions out of fear. Clinging to spaces or relationships where you aren't respected. Trying too hard to win validation from the young can leave you feeling frustrated and diminished. The youth own the future, as you once did. Let them shape it. Be an example, not a seeker of their approval. Young people admire those who remain authentic. Don't dilute yourself in an attempt to stay relevant. You don't need to apologize for your age or experience. Your dignity is rooted in confidence, quiet, unwavering, and honest. As for possessions, don't let fear of scarcity turn into clutter. Let go of what no longer serves a purpose. Your value is not in what you keep, but in what you share, your presence, your love, your guidance. Things are just things. They won't prove your life mattered. What will is how you lived, how you loved, and what you left behind in the hearts of others. 3 places to avoid to protect your peace. Environments where you're tolerated, not valued. Relationships that drain your energy. Spaces that no longer align with your worth. Too many people stay in places out of habit, places where they are dismissed, talked over, or treated as irrelevant. That's not humility, that's self-abandonment. Don't allow people to determine your value based on age. You've earned your place. You don't need to fight for crumbs of recognition. You deserve to be where you're truly seen and respected. You don't need to prove yourself to those who've already decided you don't matter. Walk away. Invest your time and heart in places that uplift you. Grieve what you've lost, but don't live there. Life continues, with beauty, love, and laughter still ahead. But only if you're willing to be present. Yes, aging includes loss. Friends pass. Health shifts. Opportunities narrow. But it also comes with unmatched perspective and the ability to cherish what remains. Don't let nostalgia steal the joy of what is. Sadness must be processed. Regret must be released. Only then can you make space for peace. Sadhguru said, aging is not a decline, it's a process of deepening. You are not owned by your past. You are shaped by it, but free to rise beyond it. Loss doesn't mean life is over. Change doesn't mean life is worse. Let go of what you can no longer carry, and make room for what's still possible. Respect yourself enough to walk away from places and people who don't honor your presence. This isn't arrogance, it's self-worth. Final thought. You are not just someone who has lived a long life, you are someone who has something left to give. Your wisdom, your story, your example. Choose to show up fully. You are not too old to begin again. You are not too old to find joy. You are not too old to change. And never forget, you still matter.